There are several core components to exercise design and planning, including establishing the purpose, defining the scope, and developing objectives. This video will focus exclusively on exercise objectives, including defining what an objective is and how to write an effective objective. Objectives. An exercise objective is the distinct outcome an organization wishes to accomplish during an exercise. It describes the performance expected from participants and conveys how the exercise should achieve its purpose. Objectives are the cornerstone of design and development. They define specific goals, provide a framework for scenario development, and provide evaluation criteria. All exercises must be developed around specific objectives. Objectives are typically prepared during the first exercise planning meeting, such as the concepts and objectives meeting or the initial planning meeting. Based on direction from senior leaders and a jurisdiction or organization's integrated preparedness plan, the exercise planning team selects one or more priorities and associated capabilities on which to focus an individual exercise. How to write an effective objective. The number of objectives and how the objectives are written are influenced by preparedness priorities, exercise purpose, and exercise scope, including type, participation level, location, and duration. In discussion-based exercises, objectives focus on familiarizing players with or developing new plans, policies, and procedures. They can also be used to validate existing plans, policies, or procedures through player interaction. In operations-based exercises, objectives are used to validate capabilities. They help clarify roles, responsibilities, and identify resource gaps. An objective should state who should do what, under what conditions, such as where, when, why, and how, according to which standards. Using the 5 W's approach and answering the who, what, where, when, and why of the exercise, you can create a rough outline of the exercise objectives. To provide an example, let's look at an existing objective for Central City's upcoming full-scale hazmat exercise. Demonstrate the ability of Central City staff to notify the public of a hazmat spill using Central City's notification system within 15 minutes of initial notification, in accordance with the Communications Annex in the Emergency Operations Plan. Let's deconstruct this objective into the 5 W's and also include how. Who? Central City staff. What? Alert and warning. Where? Central City. When? Within 15 minutes of initial notification. Why? Validating Central City's Emergency Operations Plan. And how? Using Central City's notification system. Once you have answered the 5 W's to build your draft objective, utilize the SMART method to review the objective. The SMART method is an acronym which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. Is this objective specific? What is the capability being addressed? Why is it being done? And who is being evaluated? Is it measurable? What determines if the capability is met? Objectives should include numeric or descriptive measures that define the quantity or quality. Their focus should be on observable actions and outcomes. Is it achievable? Can we accomplish this objective within the given exercise constraints? It is important to assess whether the objective can be evaluated within the time, control, influence, and resources of exercise play. Is it relevant? Where is the capability target and measurement requirement coming from, and is the source current? Objectives should be instrumental to the mission of the organization and linked to its goals or strategic intent. And finally, is it time-bound? When does this task need to be accomplished? A specific and reasonable time frame should be incorporated into all objectives. Now that we have explained the parts that make up a successful objective, let's build a second objective for Central City's full-scale hazmat exercise. Based on Central City's integrated preparedness plan, there is an additional need to validate the environmental response and health and safety capability. Specifically, for this exercise, the ability of the Emergency Operations Center, or EOC, and Incident Command to identify hazards and implement protective measures to the public. First, we will start by answering the 5 W's. Who? Central City's EOC and Hazmat Incident Command. What? Receive, assess, and disseminate information and make decisions regarding protective measures. Where? In the EOC and on scene of the hazmat incident. When? The capability target is for information to be acted on within 20 minutes of the information being received. Why? To validate the effectiveness of the Hazmat Incident Annex of the Emergency Operations Plan in minimizing exposure to the hazardous material. In this instance, there is not a specific system or procedure identified that would dictate a how. Putting these items together, a draft objective may be: validate the ability of EOC personnel to receive, assess, and disseminate information regarding potential protective actions to Incident Command within 20 minutes following the receipt of information in accordance with the Hazmat Annex of the Emergency Operations Center. It is important to remember that objectives take time to develop and may be edited and reworded several times before they are finalized. Don't feel like the first draft needs to be perfect. With a draft objective written, let's review it using the SMART acronym. In this example, we need to validate the capability of the EOC and Incident Command to minimize public exposure to potential hazards through assessment of the hazard and implementation of public protective actions. So it's specific. The capability target is for information regarding protective actions to be received, assessed, and properly disseminated within 20 minutes. So it's measurable. The exercise planning team has identified this capability to be included in this full-scale exercise, allowing ample time and resources for the evaluation of the objective. So it's achievable. The capability and capability target for this objective is based on the Hazmat Annex of the Emergency Operations Plan to be validated by Central City's Integrated Preparedness Plan. So it's relevant. And in this case, the time-bound aspect is already included in the capability target. The action should be taken within 20 minutes. So it's time-bound. Using the 5 W's and SMART acronym approach to write draft exercise objectives are critical steps to developing a strong foundation for validating capabilities. With this information, you are now well equipped to craft your own SMART objectives for an exercise. Good luck!